Hey, 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 how y'all doing? This is 919 Truth to Sports coming to you with another segment. I want to go ahead and get right into it. A topic for the day that I've been thinking about, and I also got the idea kind of from someone in my comments when I was talking about Dylan. If y'all don't know, I'm a fan of Dylan ever since I saw him play at the University of Colorado with Coach Prime, and then, of course, he transferred over to Kansas State where he's playing good ball now, especially with the last bowl game that he played in. He got the full opportunity to start, became MVP of the game, set a couple of records for the school and for the bowl. So I want to get right into it. So one of my things that I don't see anybody talking about, especially in sports, especially in sports, is is Dylan Edwards. Is he a candidate for, let's say, a dark horse candidate for the Heisman Trophy this year? And the reason I'm even saying this is because of his production that he showed in their last bowl game against Rutgers University, where they came back and to win that game. And I've done a video on that, but I want to get into it really quick, just why I think he can definitely be a candidate, if not win it between this year and next year, if given the opportunity. Without any injuries, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm gonna read you his numbers. Since he's been in college, he's going into his sophomore year. He has 150 carries for 867 yards and 6 touchdowns. He has 55 receptions for 432 yards and 6 touchdowns. Receiving, his punt return yards are 12 returns for 159 yards and 1 touchdown, and his kickoff returns are 22 returns for 427 yards. So Dylan can affect the game in a tremendous way at four different parts of the game. He can affect it as a rushing or a running back out of the backfield. He can affect it as a receiver out of the backfield, screens, etc., or in the slot. He can affect it as far as punt returns. He can affect it as far as kick returns. So if you look at it, and if he gets ample opportunity to play and produce with barring injury again, can he put up numbers good enough to be considered an Heisman Trophy candidate to get invited out to New York? I think it is where they're going to maybe win it. And I'm gonna give you real quick. I'm gonna give you someone who reminds me of. Dylan, if you all remember, Desmond Howard played at University of Michigan back in the day, and he won the Heisman. And I'm gonna read you his numbers real quick, and we'll see if we think that Dylan can get these numbers. But receiving wise, Desmond Howard had 61 receptions for 950 yards and 19 touchdowns. Can I see Dylan getting 61 receptions? Yes. 950 yards? Yes. 19 touchdowns? That's far fetched. That's a lot of touchdowns for anybody. But he can get around those numbers. Rushing wise, Desmond had 12 rushes for 165 yards and 2 touchdowns because Desmond was mostly a receiver. So of course, can we see Dylan getting 12 rushes for 165 yards and 2 touchdowns? Of course we can. We can see him putting up tremendous numbers. So you can kind of flip the rushing and the receiving numbers because Dylan is more of a running back, of course, and Desmond is more of was a receiver. So those numbers, can all be flipped, of course. Now return wise, Desmond had 634 total yards and 2 touchdowns, pick and kick returns. This is where I think Dylan can exceed and kind of surpass Desmond because we know he can put up big numbers as far as a punt returner. He can put up big numbers as far as kick returns. The only thing that would affect that is if they do put him back there and he starts producing a lot. These coaches they'll stop kicking to him. But these are very attainable numbers that he can actually win. And that's one thing I wanted to talk about or bring up. I think is a great topic of discussion. Can Dylan put up enough numbers to be considered a Heisman candidate dark horse or a Heisman candidate, where he gets invited out to New York? And can he possibly win it, especially if he does not get injured and if the coach gives him ample opportunity to kind of put up some big numbers? And I know you have to start a campaign at the college, meaning you got to kind of get a guy an opportunity. You have to give him a certain amount of attempts so that he can even, get something like a Heisman Trophy. But with him touching the ball a lot, I think a lot of good things can happen for him and his team. I think he can put up tremendous numbers. We all know that once you give him an angle and a little hole, he can get through that hole. And if he gets to the open field, most of the time you're not going to catch him. So that's one thing I'm looking forward to. I like to see what you all talk about in the comment section. But can Dylan Edwards at the University of Kansas or Kansas State, can he put up enough numbers to be considered in the Heisman Trophy race this year or next year. It's just something to think about, and if it happens, you heard it here first or whatever. But it is what it is. I'm hoping he has a great season, and I hope he puts up big numbers. As you can tell, I'm a fan of his. I keep you all up with him every game this season, as I did last season with the stats or whatever. And we'll keep rooting for Dylan. It is what it is. Bisman Hunt 919 Truth to Sports. Ride with me. 919 Truth Sports. Ride with me.